Zel Boy Army, welcome to another spicy one on the channel. We're in a different location, as you might be able to tell from the webcam setup, the overall setup. I'm at the Twickenham house with Excel. So, yeah, if the camera doesn't look the same or the quality isn't quite the same, apologise, but I'm doing this from my laptop. So, let me know in the comments if it seems alright. So, I'd appreciate the feedback. But we're here today with another spicy video. The show must go on. Today's video, I'm going to be talking about custom tactics, how to use them, and how to get the best out of them. So I do lots of different videos where I talk about custom tactics that I recommend. I always do try to explain like what each custom tactic does and stuff, but this is going to be a more in-depth video where I look at custom tactics, formations, what they mean, and how to get the most out of them. And this will go somewhere to help you actually build your own. And when you watch custom tactic videos from me or other YouTubers, they're obviously popular ones, it'll probably help you guys a lot when it comes to actually understanding them. So, this is just in case someone's watching this and never seen them before. To get your custom tactics, you go to your squad, custom tactics after pressing L2, and there you go. By the way, for chemistry, like I do not play the 4-3-3-3 in game. It's literally just I use this for chemistry, so you can change your formation here by going to that, and then this, when people play random formations here, it is literally just to give them chemistry. That is it. And then when you go to custom tactics, you can see that in the balance one. Do not change your balance formation. You do not want to touch it. That is what the chemistry is. That's what you can see before. Now, you've got 4 different tactics you could potentially use when it comes to custom tactics. Obviously 5 if you did use your balance, but I don't. The way I'd recommend it, and the way I'd set it up, would be put your most attacking one, the one that you might go to late on in a game if you're chasing the game, losing by a few, on the ultra attacking. It's pretty obvious some of this, but I'll explain my thought process. This is my all-out attack one that if I'm desperate to score, I'll go to. The ultra defensive one's my park the bus, almost time waste, see it out type of tactic. And then for the defensive and attacking, I have 2. The defensive one's the more neutral one that I will play most of the game with generally. And then the attacking one, if I feel like I'm dominating opponent a bit, I want to take the game to them a bit more, I might go to that. Or if I'm maybe a goal down, but I don't want to go all out yet, it's just a bit more aggressive. For me, that is one of the things you should definitely be using your tactics for. Mixing it up a little bit and making sure that you have different game plans for different parts of the game. So this bit literally is called a game plan. I think a lot of people don't do themselves justice because they don't have enough game plans. So that's the first part of using custom tactics properly. Making sure you have different game plans and knowing when to use them. I wouldn't use ultra attacking and go all out until I'm 2 down or I'm 1 down with like 20-25 to go. I wouldn't go ultra defensive unless they're all out attack team pressing me and I'm struggling to keep the ball. You get the point I'm saying. But then after this, we have to actually decide what we're going to do for the tactic. Firstly, you want to be picking a formation. There's different formations that work for different people. And I've done lots of videos this year talking about what I think are the best formations currently on FIFA 22 and why. For me, if I had to pick one, it's the 4-4-2. It's balanced and it has a lot of options. The main thing you get from a formation is attacking patterns and defensive shape. When you pick a certain formation, it's going to line up in a certain way no matter what you do with it. Instructions and tactics can obviously affect this. But one of the reasons I like the 4-4-2 is simply put, it's balanced. It's got the 2 strikers to link up. It's got 2 banks of 4 with the flat back 4, then the left mid, right mid, and 2 centre mids. And then you can adjust it from there in your tactics instructions. Find the formation that you think suits you, suits how you want to play, and go from there. If you want to be more conservative, you could go for the 4-2-3-1 where you've got the 5 midfielders, but you are going to lack the 2 strikers. If you want to go more aggressive, you could go a 3-5-2 where you've got lots of attackers, but you might be more vulnerable defensively. There's different ways you can go about it, different strengths. Watch some of my videos on my tactics, my custom tactics setup, and it'll explain it a bit more for you guys there. Now, the actual tactics. The defensive style goes all the way from drop back, which is basically negative part of the bus, to constant pressure. On new gen, you might not notice the difference quite as much with the defensive styles and depths, but yeah, basically for this, it depends how you want to play it. With the through ball meta, drop back definitely could be a good option that a lot of people might want to use. Constant pressure definitely never use that unless you're going all out late on, because it just kills your stamina. And the others, balanced all the way to possession loss, they're not massively dissimilar. Press after possession loss is a bit more aggressive in the sense of every time you lose the ball, basically for 7 seconds you are going to have team press turned on. The width, I don't think you notice this drastically on FIFA. Basically, this one though is more compact. The lower your width is, the more compact your team is, but it opens up through balls out wide. The higher it is, the more space there is in the middle. I would definitely not be putting it too high, because if you put it too high, you probably will notice a bit of a gap in the middle. Too low, you're going to notice big gaps out wide. I wouldn't really, for the most part, adjust this too much. If you're using certain formations, then maybe you can play with it a bit there. For the depth, I tend to line this up with whatever defensive style I'm using. It doesn't make sense to go low depth and constant pressure. If I'm going drop back and trying to see the game out, I'm going to go low depth to go kind of complement that. So the defensive style and depth generally should complement each other. When it comes to the offensive play styles, the only one I ever use in a normal situation is balance. Because for me, it definitely just is the most well-rounded that you want to use majority of the game. You can experiment with stuff, but for me, that's what works. In terms of chance creation, these tend to kind of go with these. So you start on balanced. If you move right once on both, slow build-up and possession makes sense. Fast build-up, forward runs makes sense. Direct passing, long ball makes sense. You can experiment a bit with this. For me, when I'm trying to see out a game, I actually go long passing and direct to try beat the press. If I'm trying to go all out, I go fast build-up and forward runs to try win the ball back with the press and then get in behind. That's my philosophy on doing it. That's how I see it. Width, a lot of this depends on the formation. If you're using a formation like the 4-1-2-1-2, you're probably going to lower the width, assuming you're using the narrow, to put everything through the middle, but then you can get width from your fullbacks on the overlap. If you're using the 4-4-2, you're probably going to use a more balanced one. Players in box, the more attacking the tactic, the higher I put this. Corners, I put to 1. Free kicks, don't really matter to me. And then when it comes to the instructions, it varies based on whatever formation you're using. On this game, you need width. A lot of the best formations are going to get width from their attack or their midfield. If you're using a formation like the narrow or the 5-back, you need your wing-backs or full-backs to be overlapping and at least balance runs. If you don't want your full-backs making runs, put them on stay back. Generally, I don't touch defenders. For my midfield, if I have someone like Kante, I'm not going to tell him to get forward. I'm going to put him as an anchor man to stay back, cut passing lanes. You can see what I'm getting at here. Basically, when it comes to tactics, there's certain things that work, certain things that don't, but then you have to tweak them to the tactic and formation that you're using. The tactic and instructions can go a long way to this, have different game plans, have different styles. There's lots you can do on this game. I hope this video has helped you out. If there's any questions, if you want me to go into do another video with answering certain stuff, please let me know. Appreciate you guys watching this video. As always, keep it spicy.